Hi guys, welcome to Fame and Scholar. This is my second video and I will be continuing electric charges and field. In the previous video, I have taught what is electromagnetism, what is electrodynamics and electrostatics. I have introduced you to charges and its properties. So let us begin. Today we will be doing charging by conduction and by induction, types of substances, Coulomb's law and its vector form. So let's begin. First, let us go through what is charging by conduction. Charging by conduction is the process of converting a substance into a charged substance, that is, a neutral substance into a charged substance. In charging by conduction, there is a physical contact between the object and there is transfer of electron taking place, which follows the quantization of charge. I have taught quantization of charge in my previous video. You can go through it. Let us take an example. Let us take a glass rod and a silk cloth. When we rub these two with each other, that is, we are rubbing the silk cloth against this glass rod, we see that there is transfer of electron. Transfer of electron takes place from this glass rod to this silk cloth. We see that after this transfer of electron, the glass rod is positive, whereas the silk cloth becomes negative. From this we understand that after losing electron or after giving away electron, a body becomes positive in charge, and after gaining electron it becomes negative in charge. Now let us understand what is charging by induction. In charging by induction, again we are making a body into charged form, but in this case there is no physical contact between them. Like before, we are not rubbing with each other, and there is not even transfer of electron taking place, but there is only redistribution of electron here. Let me explain you this with an example. Let us take a charged body. Consider that charge to be positive. When we take this charged body near an uncharged body, a conductor, which is insulated by an insulator, a material which is an insulator. So when we bring it close to this uncharged body, we redistribute the charge of that substance. That is, all the free electrons get attracted toward this positive charge, and the leftover positive charges are left on this side, on the right hand side. Since we don't want this body to be positively charged, we can remove this positive charge by putting an earthing. By earthing we mean that we are connecting a wire which connects through the earth. And since earth is an ocean of charge, that means it can take whatever charge we are providing to it. All this positive charge will be gone to the earth. We can see this positive charge is gone to the earth via this earthing. Now when we remove this earthing, we see that there is redistribution of negative charges from this. This is how we make a body charged without even physical contact and without transfer of electron. It is just redistribution of electron. Now let us understand the types of substances. There are three types of substances mainly. One is a conductor, then there are insulators, and then there are semiconductors. So let us understand what are conductors. So conductors are the substances which have large number of electrons, and these electrons are free on the surface or maybe even inside the surface. When an electric field is passed through these substances, that is through conductors, these free electrons which are present on them, they start coming toward the surface and they form a charged body. Example of these are most metals. Most of the metals which we see around us are conductors, but there are few exceptions too. Now let's understand what are insulators. Insulators are those substances which do not have free electrons on them. That is completely opposite of these conductors. In conductors there are free electrons, but in insulators there are no free electrons. When the electric field is passed through these insulators, there might be a shift experienced by the electrons, but the electrons won't be moving. And example of these are most non-metals which we see around us. Now let us understand semiconductors. By the name itself we can understand that it must be half conductor, and it is exactly that. These substances behaves as insulators at very low temperature, and they behave as pure insulators at 0 Kelvin, that is absolute temperature. And these substances act as conductor at very high temperature. So when there is extremely low temperature, at that time these behaves as insulators, and when there is very high temperature they behave as semiconductors. Semiconductors have a whole chapter on themselves, so I won't be going into much deep right now. So now let us understand what is Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law was given by a scientist named Coulomb. So what he did was he took a vacuum chamber. In a vacuum chamber he took two charges. One being, let us assume one was capital Q and one was small q. These two charges were at a distance r apart, and then he did experiment on this and he got to know what is the force between these two charges. So Coulomb's law states that the force between two charges present in vacuum is directly proportional to the product of the two charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So let us understand. What he says is that force is directly proportional to the product of two charges. Here the product of two charges means there is a charge q and one charge small q. So product means we'll multiply these two, and since it is directly proportional, let us put a symbol directly proportional. Force is directly proportional to product of these two charges, that is capital Q times small q. Also it says that it is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Since here the distance is r and he says that the force is inversely proportional to the distance square, therefore we will take r square. So we can combine this two equation and get force is directly proportional to capital Q times small q divided by r square. And we can remove this proportionality by adding a constant, and that constant would be k. Therefore F is equal to k q by r square. And here this k is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. The value of k is found experimentally, that is 9 into 10 to power 9 Newton meter square per coulomb. Also here this epsilon 0 or epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space, and epsilon naught is equal to 8.854 into 10 to power minus 12 coulomb square per Newton meter square. And we get this equation by substituting this value, that is epsilon 0 is equal to 1 by 4 pi k. Here k will put this value 9 into 10 to power 9 Newton meter square per coulomb. We will put this value of k and then we get this value, that is epsilon 0 is equal to 8.854 into 10 to power minus 12 coulomb square per Newton meter square. And since we know this, force is equal to k q by r square, and we know that k is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. Therefore force is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught times q by r square. The SI unit of this is Newton. Since it is a force, the SI unit is Newton. It is also a vector quantity, and hence we are using vector form to denote it. Now let us understand Coulomb's law in vector form. So let us again take two charges, same q and this small q, and this time let us name it as 1 and this one as 2. So and these two are distance r apart. Again these two are distance r apart. Since they are we are representing this Coulomb's law in vector form, we need to get a position vector of this. Here the position vector is r of 1 with respect to 2. Therefore we will write as r in superset, we will write 1 2 and unit vector. Also similarly for this one also, its position vector is r of 2 with respect to 1. Therefore r 2 1 unit vector. Since these two charges are positive, there must be a repulsive force between them. As we know that two positive charges repel each other, therefore there must be a repulsive force. This force in vector form we will represent like this: force on 1 due to 2 in this direction. Since it is repulsive, therefore this charge will push this charge in this direction, and this force is force on 1 due to 2. Or similarly, force on 2 is due to 1, that is it will opposite in this direction since it is repulsive. Therefore force over here is F on 2 due to 1. Since these are vector forms, we will represent it by putting an arrow on the top which represents it in vector form. After representing it in vector form, we can apply Coulomb's law over here. This force is equal to K multiplied by the product of two charges divided by the distance between them, the square of distance between them. Since we are representing it in vector form, let us get the vector quantities over here. First of all, we will take this as an example of this. That means we will be getting the force on first charge due to the second charge. Therefore K capital Q multiplied by small q by r square. Since we are representing this in vector form, we will also give its position vector, that is r12 cap. For those who don't know how to resolve unit vector, I have given it over here. That is unit vector of r12 is equal to vector of that is r12 vector divided by the magnitude of this unit vector. Its magnitude is equal to r. So now let us get one more equation, the final equation for that. So force on 1 due to 2 is equal to K capital Q times small q by r square, and now we substitute this r cap value over here. So we get force on 1 due to 2 is equal to K capital Q times small q by r cube. This vector over here, that is r12 vector. This r got multiplied over here and it became a cube. Therefore similarly we can derive for force on 2 due to 1. Now let us revise what we have studied. So we have studied charging by conduction. In charging by conduction, there is no physical contact between the objects and there is only transfer of electron taking place here. And this transfer of electron follows quantization of charge. We saw it with an example of glass rod and silk cloth. Now also we studied charging by induction, that is we took a charged body and an uncharged body, and then we converted the uncharged body into a charged body without physical contact and without transfer of electron. Also we studied what are the types of substances. There are conductors which have large amount of free electron on them. There are insulators which have no free electron on them, and also there are semiconductors. These are the substances which behaves as insulator at cold temperature and behaves as conductors on very hot temperature or very high temperature. Also we studied in Coulomb's law, we saw that force is directly proportional to product of two charges and it is inversely proportional to the distance between them, the square of distance between them. Therefore we got a formula F is equal to KQ Q by R square, where K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. Here K is equal to 9 into 10 to power 9 Newton meter square, which is found experimentally, and here epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space, where its value is 8.854 into 10 to power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. Then we got SI unit of electrostatic force, that is Newton. It is also a vector quantity. We also saw Coulomb's law in vector form, that is we got two formulas over here, that is force on 1 due to 2 is equal to K Q Q by R cube multiplied by vector R12. This is for the force on this particle, the first particle. We also got another formula, force on 2 due to 1 is equal to K Q Q by R cube and multiplied by the vector of R21.